Hello, you beautiful lot. It's Purple and I'm out in Finedon, pretty close to the old Finedon mines, right? So this is Ewanfield close and I'm on the bridleway, and I had a heartfelt message come through to the cotch earlier, and it stated from this gentleman that there's an old man that's been walking his dog on this rough bit of land for a very long time. I mean, this gentleman is of his mid-80s, and recently he's been in a little dispute with the local farmer, and in retaliation, you know, this farmer's saying that you can't trespass, this is my land, you're not allowed to walk across it. Although I do have a lot of people stating that this little tract of land has been walked for over 25 years. So, me personally, I'm going to write in a thing to Northamptonshire Highways, and I will state that this should be put in place. I'll also send an email to ramblers.org, the same way I've done with the spur line in Wellingborough. Wow. Yeah, with the spur line in Wellingborough. And what else? Yeah, and I'll also need 7 or more witness accounts of people that have walked this track for more than 20 years. Anyway, besides all what I can do, this farmer has decided to get real nasty and has dumped all this manure here. I mean, okay, yeah, it's far enough away from the houses, but this bit isn't the problem. The problem lies with the gentleman that this farmer was arguing with. So bear with me, I'm going to make my way round the back here, because if you look at the back, there's a path that goes all the way along, right? I mean, this is just sawdust and muck. I mean, I'm not bothered about a bit of horse poop. Good for your bones, right? But if you notice, there's a track down here. Look at this. Look at this. There is no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it. I mean, look at this. Look at that. How vindictive are you? I mean, as you saw, all the piles of muck are up there. So there's no need for this stuff to be down by these houses. If this stuff gets wet in a heavy downpour, this is going to stink out this whole area. So not only are you affecting that one person which you're wanting to get a reaction from, but you will be getting a reaction from each and every single one of these houses. I do not call that fair. Now, I'll leave the landowner's name out of it, but I do know you and we've crossed paths before. Luckily for me, you were quite decent, so I'll be decent enough and leave your name out of this. But you don't get vindictive and do stuff like this. It actually seems to me like this is a retaliation for the report that went into the actual landowners, which is British Steel, and they do all the pensions. They sell off all the land for the pensions of those that work for British Steel. So this isn't exactly your land, you're just being a bullies and there's no need for it. So if this is retaliation for the report that everyone put in about you killing certain animals, then I'm pretty sure you need to start behaving yourself, but there is no need for this. Anyway, angers my bones. There's no need for this vindictiveness. It does my head in. If you've got a problem with someone, then you go and talk to that person yourself and you sort it out. You don't include the whole community. Anyway, I need to get down the cotch. I need to go relieve some of this horrible energy. Well, that was quite heartbreaking, actually. The gentleman in question saw me filming at the back of his garden and invited me into his garden for a cup of tea. Rubbish in the bin. And, oh, this is quite horrible to think. Where do I start? So this gentleman is actually 81. And he's allowed me to take a wonderful picture of him, and yeah, he greeted me with this train driver hat, and yeah, I just straight away fell in love with the guy. And it was telling me like he's had a few health problems, and because of the pandemic he can't walk too far away from his home, so literally he walks his dog from the back gate to the middle part where that path is and then back. And he was telling me the night before he he went out and he done it, and he was greeted with two gentlemen with guns, of threatening him and doing whatever, and of course this gentleman must have called him and that you can't do this, whatever. And the next day he finds massive piles of manure and a note, and thank you for letting me take a photo of this note. So this note was left on this old gentleman's fence, and the rubbish this guy is on about with fly tipping was actually the guy's bin, who was sat behind the gate, so the guy was kind of clearing a path, you know, and he left it there for one night. That poor old bloke, it's not fair, it's not right. God bless that bloke. I mean, imagine being locked in from your house, and being locked in because of a pandemic. You can barely go down the shops, but you can take your tiny little walk, and because he is not very well, he can only walk a certain distance, so just that's all they can walk. And since that land's been walked for years and years, I mean, I was leaving there as well, I was greeted by a few members of the community who are outraged with what's happened, because this bloke is a really lovely bloke. He's lived there for more than 20 years and never had any problems from anyone, always give his good input into the community as well. That's not on. Oh, it's not Trent Stokes who own the land, it's someone else, but it is still British Steel and Pensions. So where these guys are coming saying, oh, it's private property, the actual landowners don't really care as long as you're respectful, which is why we go exploring the woods at the back. And still these guys have put little signs up saying CCTV camera. There ain't no camera up there. He's just trying to put a fear system into you all so you don't go walking up there, because all he wants to do is fire his guns over your head. I mean, they've been firing in that little rough bit of land as well. I mean, I'm sure there's some gun laws where states you can't be so close to people, or bridle ways or something. There's gotta be. And you definitely can't leave manure like that near all them people's houses. I mean, even if that wasn't the gentleman that it was, and it was a younger bloke, say if it was me, and me and you had an argument, and you come and dumped a load of manure on my bit, that's not fair on everybody else around me. Come deal with me yourself. That's not fair. That gets a heavy downpour of rain, it's going to stink all them houses out along the back there. I'm pretty sure there's a law that states that you must have channels put in, and the land must run away from the houses, because of when it rains, it turns into slurry, which then can run into houses or even pollute the land, because we know the water table is very close to the surface down at Finedon. Anyway, I'm outraged. It's heartbreaking. I just want to get the story out there. If there's anyone that can help this gentleman, then please come and let me know. I can message over to him, and yeah, he really needs some help, bless him. That's not fair. I mean, they are literally scared, him and his lovely missus. You don't need that at your age. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go down the cotch, just try and recharge a little bit. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe button for me, and leave your comments down below. I'm going to do a report to the Northamptonshire highways as well, and see if we can get that little bit of land turned into a public footpath, since people have walked over it for more than 20 years. So yeah, leave the comments down below, and I suppose I'll see you all again in the future. Peace, love and light. Touch of Northants unity.